that can be thrown at them. Ashe, of course, in particular, cleansing out of that one. Course last weekend from Empire. Hopefully we get to see some great action with that one. But really interested to see how this game goes. Why at the start of the game does it show one team 2.3k gold and the other one 2.4? What did I miss there?
I do not know actually. It's very well spotted, Joe. Whether that there's no rhyme or reason, because if you look at the gold. Sona's started with more gold. That's the new summoner thing, isn't it? Yes, that's why.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
The
started
gold
with 515. So, well, immediately we can see the mastery is that Sona's starting with more gold compared to the other support who is not. So there you go. Bit of insider knowledge. See, this is what it is. It catches us out. They do these changes to catch us out. Gamberg have actually gone for a full jungle invade here. They are teleporting back, but Leigh is actually just above it. Just for your information, Gamberg will be the Blues team in the bottom left-hand corner, and Clanless will be the purple team in the top right. So playing top to bottom. And they've all pretty much ported back. Leigh about to come in, and they do manage to catch straight into Kiki's face, and he's going to... he's actually going to go back to the bush. So there's the pings are going like crazy. We know they're here. Oh my god. But it's interesting to see that pretty much everyone starts on Wolves now, this jungle change around that they've had. And it's looking like Gamberg are going to try and steal the Wolves. So is it actually going to be Alistair?
Alistair, I think,
in the jungle, yes, it is going to be Alistair.
Boots from the start.
That's traditional. I mean, that's going back many, many times and cleverly leaving just one single Wraith there to really annoy the hell out of them. So Alistair will be the jungler, which means it's going to be Gangplank up top.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this whole setup is going to work out for both teams. Obviously, that support Nunu, which made its appearance. To be honest, I don't remember when the last time I've even seen that before last weekend, which we saw from Empire. In the final game, in the grand final, not in the grand final, in the third place game. So, it was a massive risk from them, or certainly, you call it a massive risk. I don't know exactly how, well tuned they are with that setup, but it worked out so amazingly well for them in that game. Clairvoyant's just going down there for Trash to take a peek up here towards Red Buff, and Leigh is actually over on the other side of the jungle. Riven again. Very flavour of the month at the moment is Riven. We've not seen all that much of Irelia recently. People seem to be really fancying Riven, and I don't remember the last bad Riven I've seen in these top games either, Deman.
No, but he is a pretty safe character to play, I find. It's fairly straightforward. We're just seeing Alistair actually gone past, and Leigh spotted him go around the backside. So, yeah, you can see LeBlanc is surely going to be ready and waiting for this one. Leigh actually positioning himself to come in for him. Look, he could be in trouble here. Alistair does manage to come down. Xerath gets across, though, but I think that's a fair bit of damage and exhaust. He didn't blow the exhaust, didn't really blow any summoner spells in, which I thought was going to come in. Meanwhile, at the top there, Riven taken down very low as well. No way for you. Just as we sing Riven's praises, almost gets taken out. Almost traditional caster curse that goes in there. Down the bottom, you can see Ashe has forced Dunhow back a little bit on Ezreal. Does put a volley across in his face, or a spray as I always like to call it, but it is a volley. And CS-wise, we can see pretty much standard between them. Nobody really having any massive early game advantages just yet.
Yeah, Riven though could lose out a little bit here actually up on that top turret again. A big minion wave forced by, although we saw that in the last game with the Riven as well. Renekton did a great job of shoving those minions right onto Riven's turret, but she still managed to stay ahead in the CS throughout all that as well. Down at bottom, Trash just keeping an eye on that bush to make sure no one's coming in there. Gangplank has gone home for an early buy, so let's see what he's going to go with. Actually picking up Pink Ward. Doran's Blade obviously added to the boots from earlier on, and he's going to use his teleport to get straight back in on the action. At the moment, Alistair is there. Oh, and look at that. Perfectly timed from LeBlanc, taking a bit of damage in the process, but staying safe, which is the main thing that they need to do with this Alistair roaming around the whole time. Oh.
Yeah, the bottom is... Sorry, he's just got another volley back across ezreal's first. ezreal's actually very low at the moment, down the bottom, and Sona's being forced to continually try and heal him. So, Gameberg at the moment doing a great job pushing down the bottom here, trying to keep him away from that CS. Still only...
in middle, Alistair's going down super low. Oh, and he's failed flashed! He's missed the flash over the top.
Well, I mean that's the change, because flash has been shortened, isn't it? And it's catching so many players out, and then we saw it actually in the last game.
Morgana, yeah.
Yeah, there's people saying about the fail flashes, as it were. It's gonna catch people out, and I'm intrigued to see how it's gonna work out this weekend and next weekend. See whether people do adapt to it quick enough, Joe. But first blood goes, and that is down to a fail flash.
Yeah, and you know that Morgana in the last game, shield on, ulti ready to go, and flashed into the wall. So that's something that's going to take a little bit of time, obviously, for these players to get used to. There was a ward here, by the way, in the bottom side of the river, which is why they spotted that Leigh Sin coming down, and they should be fairly ready for him to come up. In fact, he's not even going to bother there. Going to get himself straight home. Up at the top, Kiki's obviously back into the lane from earlier on. Cloth armor, boots and pots. And what we have with Riven as Ashe and Nunu start to drop a little bit further back. Now ezreal's starting to force them away from that turret, which is something we saw earlier. Nice progression. LeBlanc has gone home. Boots. Oops, I just clicked away from her. Double Doran's Blade, and obviously wards as well. And here we go. Nunu actually starting to move in. Alistair is getting in position as well, and he is going to knock him into the wall. Is he going to go down? Yes, there is a very dead ezreal. Ashe even picking up the kill in and amongst all that. Really nicely done from GBT to bring it back to a 1-1 scoreline in the kills. Up at the top, Riven and Gangplank, they're both fairly low, around to about third of their HP. But we've not seen any ganks up at top, which is something we saw in that last game, and actually I saw in the post-game chat, GG, what was it now? GG Ramos protecting that Riven the whole game, which, you know, is something that's going to happen. Actually, stun comes in there onto Gangplank. Riven's managing to stay out of range of the turret, and I think that's going to be a very hard lane for Gangplank, to be honest.
I don't know, he's kind of like just passive farming. He's going to be quite happy. He can heal himself up, of course, and then obviously eat the oranges.
Yeah, true.
He's being taken low. It was more about that bottom lane. It was very well baited. You can see the mid again. They're going to try and go forwards. LeBlanc, they're really just forcing him out, but very nicely baited. We said that, you know, they backed away, and you can see that Alistair had obviously put the call out saying, right, I'm doing these races and I'm going to come down bottom, so they just baited him in. They knew there was no ward there and just caught him out. Very nicely done. Leigh Sin at the moment just hovering in and around mid here, and Xerath's got to be careful because it's a full hit point Leigh Sin, so he's going to be quite happy to take a couple of hits from the tower. Just positioning himself, is actually going to steal the blue. Clairvoyance goes down, their own Clairvoyance, so they've checked it out, and he's going to steal that blue away if they're not careful. They've seen Alistair disappear, and there it is, stolen blue. Very nicely done. Yeah,
cheeky there from Blood Dragon, who's actually dancing around in the bushes in and amongst all that as well. In the middle, I'll have a look quickly at the CS, possibly in a minute, because we are going to see the move coming in, and Cesaru got himself out there, and that burst damage obviously from LeBlanc is pretty damn dangerous at this stage of the game. Just for you guys at home here, put 3 points in Sigil of Silence, Distortion 1, and Ethereal Chains 1. I know a few people will be interested as to how this LeBlanc is going to be building up there. And we see GBT get back into this bottom lane. We do have BF Sword already on Ashe. Double Dorans plus boots on ezreal. In terms of CS, 60 to 50, so Ashe slightly ahead despite that going home, but obviously we did see the kill come out onto ezreal earlier on as well. And now, other than this bottom lane, actually everyone's off doing their own thing at the moment.
Yeah, just keep them on. Actually, trash down the bottom there. He's actually put 2 points into Ice Blast, so he's going to be a bit more of an aggressive, obviously building the Blood Boil, which is kind of that's his support part that he's playing, which is keeping Ashe, obviously Blood Boil, get their attack speed going. Has gone straight for a BF Sword as well, no Doran's Blades here, so very aggressive play from Makler here. on Ash, so going to keep an eye on this bottom lane because it's almost certainly going to keep ezreal low, just missing the volley there. But yeah, it's going to definitely put the damage down on him. Obviously did get that one kill, 71 to 55 CS, so does have that advantage you'd expect from a singular kill. Keeping my eye on Blood Dragon as well, also going down river. There is, they're going to have seen him there, so they're immediately going to try and back out. Possibly will catch him nicely, volleyed across though. And as well as Ezreal's Mystic Shot being blocked by a minion doesn't help. Look up towards the top. Gangplank is getting the traditional parlay build. Looking towards Riven. Riven going and putting all those points in key burst. So, oh, looking in the mid there. He's on very low. He's going to go down to a basic attack. Yes, he will. And Cesaro does go down to LeBlanc there. And that is a much important kill. So that puts him 2-1 ahead. Sorry, it's 10 minutes gone. Apart from the fact that the bottom lane is pushed so heavily, it could have been an ideal opportunity to go for that dragon. Not too sure if they're going to do it though. Instead, it looks like Blood Dragon is going to try possibly to invade towards the Wraiths. No, decided against it.
Yeah, and the ward coverage actually is with a pink outside of Dragon at the moment for GBT. So they've got plenty of safety in terms of that. And actually their ward coverage is, well, 100% better since there are no wards down anyway for their opponents. But they've got those offensive wards placed there, one in the tri-bush here, on in the ramp at Dragon, plus in the tri-bush at bottom. And actually most of them are pink wards as well. So plenty of cash being spent in and towards that. On Blood Dragon is going to be spotted here. Kikis knows that Lee Sin is ready and waiting for any push that would be coming. Oh, so much damage from Ash, and yeah, that's the trade-off that she's gone for there. That extra damage. Oh, Arrow is going to miss. Actually, Xerath is coming down. Alistair is in there as well. Oh my Jesus Lord, how much damage does the blank just do there? That's ridiculous. Gangplank ulti is around about 5 miles off the mark there to be finishing off any kill. But the blank Demon, wow, insane.
Yeah, and that's the danger. He can be very, very powerful early on in the levels, but well, it's whether he can keep it up. And the fact is, you know, they were trying to position for a nice early gank, get a good gank down the bottom. Did they not realise that, hang on a minute, everybody else is missing on the map? Possibly this Tribus could be a trap. So this is perfect opportunity now. 12 minutes coming up, and they will be going for that dragon. Ash puts the hawk shot across, does manage to get a volley across everyone as well. He's going to maybe try and get a poke on towards Sono. Going to continue to cause the problems. Did she get the steal? No, she didn't. Instead, it's going to take a lot of damage from Dunn out there, but will walk away from it. So at the moment, Clanless are looking the stronger with certainly with the kills. It's whether they can keep it up, because they've worked out just very handy kills, all from LeBlanc as well. So when catching people out, as it were. Whether Xerath, though, can come back from this, has gone for a Cage's lucky pick instead. So trying to make up for that loss of gold with a lower AP item, as it were.
Yeah, and LeBlanc again causing him problems. And that's like the most frustrating thing in the world right now, actually, for Kazaru. He's just died, he's come back into the lane, he's got a third of his HP remaining after all that. And someone pointed out in the chat, that's pretty normal damage from LeBlanc. LeBlanc. But the point is that we don't see that many LeBlancs these days. In fact, I don't remember if I've ever casted a single game at this level of play with a LeBlanc in it.
No, absolutely not. And it is pretty normal damage. And he can burst like crazy, or she can burst like crazy, but does always tend to tail off, and is never that well favoured in a team fight, because it's more a case of once you've used those few abilities you've got, that's it. So yeah, you've got sat waiting for the cooldown timer. So it's going to be interesting to see how he handles it carrying on into the late game. So how he managed to handle the abilities at the top there. Blood Dragon is coming around towards Kikis there, has just used up his oranges, will try and dive into him, and he will manage to catch out. Goes turn around actually onto Blood Dragon. Says, you know what, I've got plenty of health, I'm not too scared of you. Looking back down the bottom there, you can see a volley again. Oh, and an Ash Arrow missing again, terribly there. Gangplank does come down, will be a pulverised, and that will be a dead Dunhow. So Ezreal goes down again. So that combo of Alistair coming out jungle. Meanwhile, back up towards the top. Kikis surely must realise that Lee Sin is still hanging around here. And I don't think he saw him disappear, so well, he's just staying pretty confident. Is full health. Actually, I thought he was about to go wandering a little bit too far. I think it's a bit too obvious, the baiting here, and I don't think he's going to fall for it. But Down the bottom there, they're going for Sona, and they will manage to catch him out. Again, another pulverized volley combo, and he will get taken down. Back up towards the top. Gangplank, oh, nicely. Oh, just manages to flash out of it. Did get kicked away, and had he have not flashed then, he would have almost certainly been dead. But that is the bottom turret going down, but it's going to be a trade-off because this top will follow.
Yeah, top's going to be hammered away here by Leigh and Riven, who should be able to deal with that fairly quickly. And like you said, that bottom one did go down. Let's have a look at the kills. 2-0-1 for Ashe, a 14-minute bloodthirster at this point. 122 to 83 CS. So you know, she's doing really, really well. And that 0-2-0 ezreal, that is not the scoreline that your AD carry needs to have. But let's not forget, in the last game, the Corki was, I think, 0-3-0 and still managed to pick things up in towards that late game. We do see Negatron Cloak being bought now, actually, by Xerath, which is a welcome addition against LeBlanc, who Sorcerer's Shoes, two door and drink. She must have plenty of gold to go home. Yeah, 2k gold sitting on right now. Kiki is going to go back into
You could see the difference straight away there, though, with the Negatron Cloaks. Immediately got a combo straight from LeBlanc, and immediately I only did a fraction of the damage he did earlier on.
Yeah. Yeah, Xerath, what, 96, I think that is. Magic resist at the moment, so that should be fairly good. Let's see. Again, LeBlanc is going to go diving in that, actually. As Riven comes back into this top lane again. Both players up at top putting in those wards, and they're both full HP, so that's probably a lane that we don't need to keep our eye on 100% for the next few moments. But we are seeing somewhat of an invasion. No, he got that ward down, and there was the pink ward right next to it. So this is one thing I said earlier on. Clanless's wards weren't so strong in the early game, but they seem to have picked up a little bit more on that one and have the coverage around. Alistar is sniffing in there as well to take out another ward, and I don't remember the last time I saw a game with so many pink wards either, to be honest.
Yeah, and it's all they're buying. It seems to be. They just seem to be placing pink wards. They've not buying anything else. So it's obviously something. Oh, they're saying that Ashe has got a sight ward on her now. But yeah, there's vision wards. Seem to be the target. Are they trying to bait out LeBlanc here? I think they are. Trying to see, but Riven is coming down as well. Let's keep our eye on that. I think Alistar would have given his position away there. You can see back down the bottom. Xerath has actually switched out now because that tower has been taken down. They're going, right, Xerath, you go down bottom, farm it up. Ashe is actually now going down bottom as well. Yeah, no, they're going to back straight away the minute they lost sight of them. And yeah, Ezreal and Sona were not having a bean of it. But the dragon is due, actually. It was on about 12 minutes, wasn't it? So it's due within the next minute. So that sight ward has been placed. Actually, it's right next to a pink ward, so Ezreal's going to come down and clear that straight out. They won't be happy with that, but that's what happens when you don't get a pink on dragon. And Kiki continues to farm up top. Let's have a look at the farm while we've got a small moment while they're setting up waiting for dragon. And Xerath tries to get a shot across there. LeBlanc does go for a little dive and see if we can get a sniff on him. Actually looking at Kiki's now coming down. So they have the timing sorted out. 144 CS, 213, so a big advantage for Ashe there. 30 CS roughly equates to, what, 600 gold, something like that. So big difference, and you can see that if you just click on the gold counted. You can see that actually it's 1100 gold because this has got the 2 kills in there as well compared to the 2 deaths. In the mid there you can see setting up for the dragon, 116 CS for Riven compared to 124 Gangplank, and Xerath 117 for 109. So Xerath actually has the more CS despite the fact he's lost a couple of fights there, Joe.
Yep, and actually GBT now moving their way back towards middle. There's 4 from Clanless moving underneath in towards Dragon Pit. GBT are now going to drop themselves back in there. Xerath is the only one that's a little bit unhealthy, and as they go in, they are going to land the arrow here onto Blood Dragon. There goes the Gangplank ulti as well. Ezreal's ulti comes across, Sona's ulti. They're being blown all over the place. Ashe is still alive, just about. Needs to be very careful, and why did he go back in there? I have no idea. We do see Xerath go down. We are going to see a very, very low Riven, but a very low Riven is not a dead Riven at this point, and Alistar is going to be finished off, and that, my friends, is an ace.
That was absolutely awful focus from a team targeting there. The arrow went in on LeBlanc, and they followed it up with a Gangplank ulti, and then went, you know what, actually let's just turn round and go the other way, and then they went towards LeBlanc, who was clearly what's it classed as? It's the Mimic, isn't it, whatever it's called. I'll tell you, mirror image, that's the thing. Clearly the mirror image, they suddenly all turned around and blew a load of abilities on it. It was like, what the? And then they just didn't really know what they were focusing on. Then before it was too late, they'd already put damage on Riven, on LeBlanc, tried to get it onto back onto Leigh Sin. It was too late. They'd already absolutely been destroyed. Crazy focus. Don't know what on earth GBT were thinking of when they all moved down in a perfect 5 there, and immediately we're seeing a difference there. Cesaro has managed to get the ulti stun across on towards the Casso, taken down incredibly low. 8 hit points, is making a run for it, but I think he's going to get away. Surely, yes, he will do. Turns around, tries to use the mirror image to deflect the damage, and will walk away up to 30 hit points now. Clearly safe. No problem. And LeBlanc survives on 8 hit points. Cesaro really wants to kill that. I would have obviously justified it and felt very nice, but unfortunately not. And it is now 8-3 in favour of Clanless, and that is a huge advantage now because it equates to 4,000 gold.
Yeah, 4k gold. 20 minutes in, there's a massive difference actually at this point of it. Ooh, what?
Yeah, Ash dropped after the death in there.
Okay. Oh yeah, my chat's like now extremely tiny.
Same here, yeah.
When they say that, I guess they don't want people to read what these players say during games. Although I guess you can change the scale anyway. Still, yeah. But as you mentioned, just a massive difference. The scoreline now 5-0-1 for LeBlanc, which is always going to be a problem. But if you manage to survive long enough, maybe she'll, you know, that fall away that you talked about earlier on. But I don't think that Clanless are going to wait for that. Oh, Nunu's going to face check.
Didn't even get the chance.
Didn't even get in the bush, did he? They all the abilities came out towards him, instantly killed. And that's going to be a free blue going over for Clanless. Easily stole out of the jungle. And that, my friends, is why you don't face check. Ever.
Yeah, and we're going to get to call it because double lift is now moved into CLG, so getting to do a double lift, as it was well known, is entirely possible again. Of course, now that the fact that the Nunu in the bush has become known as doing an empire, so these things do come from these games that get made popular, and LeBlanc is looking for more kills here. 362 AP, going to come around the backside of Cesaro, does manage to get the combo on him, does get the leash. Actually, I think he expected Riven to follow up as well, but Riven wasn't quite in the same mindset as KSO there. So instead, LeBlanc is going to continue on, but this is the thing, I mean, the Ash arrow does manage to land on him, but I don't think anyone's quite close enough. Will manage to get the combo on him. Will surely get the kill this time. Will he get away? No, he will not. The mirror image was not full enough, and Ash finally manages to make that kill, and that is going to feel so good for them as well, because LeBlanc is on 6-1-1, 114 CS, has that Rabadon's death cap already, and probably, you know what, has actually got a bit more money. Yeah, 1,000 gold, because he got the kill on Nuno a moment ago.
Yeah, and how much gold was it? 483 there for getting that kill on LeBlanc. That's always something that, you know, you can't really push out of a game in terms of how you judge its standing right now, because that goal can quickly go over. We do have a 3-1 turret lead, of course, over for the German side. And there's a lot of magic resist coming out now, as you could probably expect for GBT. Ash got magic resist with the Negatron cloak, so does the Xerath as well. And GBT sat back clearing out the jungle at the moment. Looks like we're going to be seeing Ash taking home the red buff. He does have that Zeal already made. I think Deman mentioned that earlier anyway. And Clanless hanging around. There is that pink ward there, so they know exactly where Clanless are at the moment. Not 100% sure when the last dragon was due, or the next dragon was due, I should say. But it can't be so far off. It was taken after that last big team fight down at that bottom area. In the meanwhile, Ash is managing to get farm all in this bottom area. And Clanless, I don't know, they're not really doing a lot right now. They're pushing around the map. There's losing a little bit of time out with this farm. I mean, 190 to 150 is the difference between Ash and Ezreal, plus the kills as well. That could turn out to be a really big thing.
Yeah, a little bit of second guessing, I think, must be that. So obviously issues with the team leadership maybe there, because it looked like they were positioned to think, right, okay, Ashe is bottom, let's get Baron. And then they were like, actually no, let's not. And then Riven's sort of gone off and farmed up top. And then there was about 4 people just stood in mid with absolutely no minions, just stood around thinking what we do next. I don't know. So a little bit of lack of clearance of what exactly they wanted to do next there. And instead, like you say, Ashe is continuing just to farm 200 CS now. Has got that bloodthirst zeal. Probably going to have, with the 1600 gold and 1700 gold on him now. So Phantom Dancer will be completed very shortly, and just really could do with popping back, buying that, and getting ready for the next dragon, which is due any moment there. Just caught a glimpse of Leigh managing to put a pink ward. Actually, it was just a vision ward there. And like you say, those pink wards are still going down for GBT, so they're continuing to use them despite the fact they are 2k behind in gold. So they are actually catching. They were 4k at one point. They're continuing to gain on there. Wow, and Akaso actually blowing a combo onto Alistar now. They're going to teleport in. They're going to Sono Arrow. Ashe Arrow follows on. Trash manages to take the full combo, and that's not the person that you wanted to be going for. Instead, the targeting this time is much better for GBT. Surely they can take down No Way for you. No, Riven does just about taken down by Cesaro. Cesaro tries to take down Dunnow as well. Kikis is leading them away at the moment. This is just actually buying into time. Akaso, who's going to have that combo ready and waiting, actually misses it. Nicely baited around there, but unfortunately they can't manage to get the damage down. Neither team really coming out on top of that one. 2 for 2. And the combos and the targets were a little bit different there, but that was a moment where LeBlanc had actually blown everything. Firstly on Alistar, didn't get the kill. Alistar's not a primary target, and then on to Nunu, who's the support, and again not a primary target. So really focusing on the wrong people there. If you could have gone straight for Cesaro or something like that, that would have probably saved the team and maybe turned into another ace for Clanless. But instead, it didn't happen this time, and GBT came out, I would say, a little bit better, considering they were the ones that originally got caught.
Yeah, I'd totally agree with you there as well. At the moment, Gangplank got his Warmogs finished. Let's have a look. And yeah, that's just been finished just now, actually. It's actually empty at the moment. So he's going to start to fill that up. Riven getting some free farm up at top. Let's have a look at the Riven items. We do have the Phage, Crit Cloak in there, Wriggle's Lantern from earlier on. At the moment, Leigh farming inside of middle as well. And Ashe has gone. He needs to be a little bit careful not to get caught out of position here. There's no one around. And actually doesn't have flash up either. Does have heal though. That old chestnut that everyone seems to forget about when they're chasing. And GBT just making sure that their side of the jungle is safe. But Clanless, again, they seem to be struggling in terms of what next.
Ashe has interestingly gone with a second BF sword, obviously a Negatron cloak as well for the burst that's coming out from LeBlanc, but also got that agility pot in there. So rather than going for a straight Phantom Dancer, which most people would in that case, he's actually gone for a little bit more damage, and then cleverly obviously got the magic resist, which is something that AD carries always forget. Or not forget. It's a balance of, is it worth it with
priority?
Is it worth it? Will the rest of the team cover me enough that I don't need to get this item? But he needs to be very careful. Like you mentioned, is at the forefront of a 5-man Clanless team there. Instead, it is becoming a little stalemate at the moment. Alistar is a long way away from the action note, so if he shows himself on those minions, I think Clanless have to react and maybe head towards Baron. But at the moment, 28 minutes in, it is definitely Baron time, and we're in that territory. Clanless have not pushed their advantage they had early on, which I think may actually play against them. We have a Quicksilver Sasha now on LeBlanc as well, so we'll have to keep our eye on that one. But I mean, LeBlanc does have a lot of AP, 325 AP, but it's not an incredible amount, and Xerath is slowly but surely catching up. He's got that Banshee's Veil on now, so try and get a little bit of resistance there. And he's just, they're playing a lot more of a tankier build here, and they are going to try and engage a little bit, Joe. They're going to start trying to get a little poke with Xerath's range abilities, but not really landing anything.
Yeah, at the moment, going for it, but full HP over on the other side. LeBlanc there just coming in to try to do a bit of damage, which, you know, Banshee's Veil and all that. Going to get popped from Cesaro. And again, it's this massive stalemate situation inside of the middle. There's, 3k is the gold lead now. It's not that big. And actually, we're going to see Lee Sin dive in there. ezreal ulti goes out. Gangplank ulti is put down defensively. Along with the Ash Arrow, Cesaro is caught completely out of position there. We could see Sona go down. Here goes the Nunu ulti, which actually did a fair bit and enough, it seems, to force Clanless away. And Cesaro again, Deman, he was in no man's land there, right at the front of the group. He doesn't need to be there, he's Xerath.
But the kill went to Sona, so it's not the end of the world. But a little bit of gold for Sona is not going to hurt anyone. But yeah, like you said, got kind of caught out there, and a lot of ultis had to get blown just to try and save his bacon and really save the rest of the team. So Clanless pick up another kill, keeps some 3k ahead in gold, also ahead in them towers. But they're just not pushing the advantage. They seem to be lacking a little bit. Whether that's because ezreal fell behind a bit, I don't know. I mean, he's certainly catching up now. He's just about to push up to 200 CS. Has got that Trinity Force for quite a while now, but isn't really pushing the pace. Leigh almost got his Atmogs complete, so he's just building up the hit points. Like I said, is he going to become sort of the tank for them? And he effectively has been. Riven as well has... It's got a different build to what we saw in the last game. Obviously, last Riven was all about AD damage. This time, it's gone a bit more with the hit points and AE. With that Wriggles in there as well for those free wards. Just catching a glimpse of LeBlanc trying to get a poke on him. Alistair's got to be careful there. Do not walk into that. We've already seen one phase check. They have got a ward, so they're going to see them coming around towards that blue buff, and that's why Ashe would have already backed away there. And this has got to be... Yeah, it's going to be a Baron attempt, surely. They've just put 2 wards down on the blue bush there. And there is one also positioned well. Alistair is going to come round, see them straight away. Actually, I think they expected them to be on there already there. Instead, they're going to come around, try and get around the back to them. Riven can't quite get close enough. Actually flashes in there, gets caught out. ezreal ulti comes straight across. Alistair goes balls to the wall, straight in there. Sona gets incredibly popped. No way for you. It manages to get straight in on towards Xerath again, getting caught out. Nunu kicked away but survives. Ashe will take down Blood Dragon, but in response, Alistair also goes down. So again, it is a 2-for-2 fight, and really nobody quite coming out on top there. And Riven, well, very aggressive play, actually lived in there despite getting flashed down. Gangplank is just running for his life up towards the top corner of the map there, and will port back quite safely, but that's going to be looking like a free dragon for Clanless. But 14-8, so still keeping that 2k gold advantage, will become a 3 gold as soon as they get this dragon. And again, it's very unclear on these team fights who's coming out on top, but if Xerath could just stop getting caught out every single time, it would be a good start.
Probably needs to stay alive a little bit longer in those team fights. We're doing that damage. Blasting 1 picked up as well there for the LeBlanc, who is now to 430 AP. And then amongst everything, actually Ashe does have the Bloodthirst. Sorry, yeah, Bloodthirst obviously familiar. That BF sword that she bought, plus the pickaxe. So gonna be heading up there, maybe towards that Infinity Edge. We see blue buff gonna go over to Kazaru, who, in terms of AP, is a long way behind. 172 with the needlessly large rod. And that's something that he's going to try and fix moving in towards this late game.
Oh, steal.
Stolen. Nice ulti from ezreal.
It's always the annoying one, and well, obviously making use of those 2 wards they put down a moment ago. But like you mentioned, it's 429 AP for LeBlanc at the moment. But again, they're positioning, they're hanging around the middle. They're not quite sure whether to follow the wave in, whether to go for Baron. They just picked up the dragon, so they don't need to worry about that for 6 minutes. But they're just not quite too sure whether they should try to pull out this Baron really early on. And it's this kind of stagnation that can obviously give the opposition a chance. You can see that Alistair's now picked up that Deathfire Grass, so he's going to be getting straight in on someone just to pop their hit points straight down. I think it's half hit points. It's still half hit points? It is nearly, well, near enough. 30% of the current health, so it's been nerfed a little bit since the last story. But at the moment, Ashe is really upping that damage. You can see he's got that last Whisper now on there, but ezreal also has got a Bloodthirster on there, so both of these AD carriers are now incredibly strong, and really the focus is going to have to switch to them rather than the AP. I mean, they've been focusing Xerath every single fight. That's clear to see. But LeBlanc is going to actually did catch on Alistair as well there, And they are going to go for this Baron, but are going to have to withdraw straight away as soon as that arrow comes across. And Xerath tries to continually put that damage across, just doesn't quite have the ability power though, but is slowly getting there. Has that needs to be large, as you can see. As soon as he starts getting that Rabadon's Death Cap on, you know, Clanless are going to have to be careful because they, I think as a final 5-man team, they're a little bit more complete, Clanless. With the heroes they've got a lot more disruption and a lot more crowd control. Obviously, Alistair's going to throw himself in their headbutt and probably try and take someone out of the picture. Most likely Ezreal is going to be the target, I think, from now on. But Clanless, I think, are letting this one slip. I just get this feeling that they've had this massive advantage for so long, and yet they're not using it.
Yeah, and we see this with teams. I mean, it generally comes from maybe inexperience playing together, and also, you know, the guy who is a team leader who has to make these calls. This is what we're doing. This is when we're doing it. And so far, we've seen a bit too much stagnation in their play style with that advantage. I mean, it's not even 1,000 gold difference now, Deman, compared to earlier on. That is a massive, massive difference. As we are going to see them move up again, Clanless, towards that Baron. There are wards left, right, and centre. They know that Alistair's here, actually. They will have spotted him. Will Alistair be able to do enough to scare him away? No, it looks like they're going to focus staying on this Baron. Actually, they will pick up Baron, but Sony gets absolutely exploded. They're going to move it now to Kassadin. Riven is low as well, trying to escape. That doesn't work out. Nunu ulti is actually wasted there. The question is now, are the rest going to be able to get away? Nice damage being put down here onto Mog'Maw, who, of course, is the Alistair player, but I think they're going to catch the blank out. Yes, certainly now, as those arrows come in from Ashe, they're not going to get away from that slope. And, well, you've picked Baron up, guys, but you've lost 3 guys in the process, which, you know, okay, you've got the gold advantage from it. But look at the gold now, Deman. 300 difference. What was it earlier? 4.5, 5k maybe, almost, at one point?
I hate to say I called it, but, you know, we could see it. The hesitation was clear to see, and then when they actually went for Baron when there was no clear advantage. There was no one visible down the bottom of the map, which is generally when you think, okay, now we've got a chance. They've had to push bottom, and now it's looking like this inner turret could possibly go down. So they're going to lose a turret as well, which will obviously pull the gold in the advantage of GBT for the first time in this match, despite the fact it was, I think it was a 4k difference at one point. So immediately we can see now that the advantage with GBT, and really Alistair managed to get himself in there very nicely done. Deathfire Grasp was popped straight away, and I think it destroyed, I think it was Riven he must have gone for, because Riven's hit points went down very, very quickly there. So immediately taking Riven out of the picture, which is effectively giving the AD carry a bit of a free reign, because nobody else is jumping in for him unless Leigh can get in there, in which case he's going to get targeted straight away. So the difference, like I say, is clear to see, and they're just going to back away from this one and say, thanks a lot, guys, we've just picked up 4 kills and a tower for really not a lot of effort.
Yeah, and Xerath is becoming more dangerous all the time. He's finished that Deathfire Grasp? Not really. Rabadon's Death Cap. Yeah, death in there and all that stuff. I get distracted by those bad words. And yeah, I mean, still you've got Leigh in with the Baron buff on. You've still got Ezreal with that Baron buff. It's actually run about half of its course by now. Kassadin needs to be careful not to get caught here again. It's definitely one man who's had a little bit of trouble with getting caught in and amongst these team fights. Positioning not being all that perfect. Needs to hold his ground in towards the back rather than being up there close and personal. There goes the nice hook shot across, and it's caught onto Sona. Damage is going to come in. GBT are going to take this fight. This time Xerath's positioning is great there at the Black Blood Dragon. It's going so low. Will be finished off. Ultimate comes across from Ezreal, but it's not going to make that much difference. They're focusing on Riven. They need to finish off this kill sometime soon. Managed to do it, and Ashe even fancy himself there for a little bit more damage going in. This middle turret, it's going to take a miracle for it not to be going down with this one. We do have, of course, all 4 remaining players left alive for GBT around there. Riven is down, Leigh is down, which leaves, you know, squishies. And you're not going to be able to survive for very long in that one. Actually, we do see the push around there. Nicely done from LeBlanc. That's going to force GBT away completely, and that's what they needed to do to save this tower. Always going to be a little bit risky, something like that, but in the end, worth it to save that inner middle turret. But GBT are going to be picking themselves up now a dragon.
Yeah, they will go for that dragon, so it's going to be nice and easily picked up, which will give them a 3k gold advantage now, and almost pulled the kills back as well, 15 to 14. And that was all about Sona just getting caught out there, but it was quick and reactive play as well from GBT, because that Hawk shot went across and went, right, they're all there. Arrow, let's go for it. And immediately Gangplank ulti was there. Alistair was already running around to catch them out. Alistair actually was there, and he really could have been the other side because the damage was already done. Sona was already dead before he even got there. But, GBT are just reacting quicker and responding quicker, and now that they've got, like you say, Xerath has actually got the ability power, he's going to be very dangerous. 311 AP now, and LeBlanc is tailing off. This is what we talked about very early on. 480 AP, yeah, great. If you can get onto Ashe, you can probably kill him pretty quick or get him very, very low, but Riven and, or Lee Sin are basically being taken out of the game instantly by Alistair, who's just diving straight for them. As soon as that Deathfire Grasp is ready, he's on them straight away, and the rest of the team react. They're all going for the same thing. Gangplank now with Atmog's complete. Atmog's complete on Lee Sin as well. Pings down the bottom there. Oh, they might go for Ashe here. Alistair, sorry, and he I don't know if he realised when he turned around and got away from dodging that Mystic shot. Oh yes, they've got a ward up the top there, so they can see exactly what they're doing, and they're just waiting for Xerath to get his backside in gear and get up here, I think, and we're finally going to see a little bit of action. So Xerath now up to 400 AP, has got himself that blasting one, so again now closing in, and only 80 ability power behind Lee Sin. So Lee Sin, that would be scary, behind LeBlanc. Ping's going down, and that's actually Clanless saying we need to withdraw, so they're going to go for blue buff. And they just, again, they're hesitant. They don't know what to do. They don't know whether should we attack, should we defend. And GBT just seem to think, oh, okay, if they're just going to sit back, we'll continue to push the pace. And Cesaro is actually getting to the stage where he can probably wipe that minion wave out almost in a single spell. See if he does manage to be able to do it. Nearly. He takes that backside out. But I think GBT are going to win this now.
Yeah, certainly they're in the driving seat. I mean, over 3k gold difference, and we are going to see them push straight in there. Buffs come on, and this tower is going to go down in a split second. Not going to be any problem there. Cesaro charging up once again. Arrow's
nice arrow.
Lands. Oh, and we do see that cleanse that we talked about earlier on being used. Alistair is in there. Dangerous play, but GBT fancy themselves. Riven hopping around in and amongst everything. There goes the ulti out from Ezreal, and Riven survives again with no HP whatsoever. They're going to move back around towards this middle area. There is another minion wave, Winion Mave, as it could also be called, pushing in, and this turret and inhibitor is going to go down so very, very quickly. And Blood Dragon, I'm not sure your best idea is hanging around there. He actually is going to dive in there. You see his HP is just obliterated, but we will see Makler go down. There goes the ultimate out from Nunu as well. Alistair will fall. Kazaru is the next target in and amongst all this one, as he tries to do as much damage as possible before being taken out. But Gangplank is still around here, but Riven just going to run away from it all. Lots of damage coming in onto Kiki's. Trash is now no chance to stay alive. And there's the ace the other way. Clanless regain the lead in terms of kills. A crazy, strange game.
Yeah, and that bottom turret has got a huge stack on it as well, so that's in a little bit of trouble there. I'm not too sure if it will quite go down to these minions, but the rest of Clanless will try and pile in. They don't actually have any minions here in the mid, so they could do with going straight to the bottom. You can't tank it, you're all too low. Yeah, now they've realised they're going to get down towards that bottom. They probably will take that turret out just about in time, but that'll be all they will get from it. There is a big stack along top as well, but the rest of the team of GBT will spawn in time. However, despite the fact they did give that ace, they have gone 2k, they're still 2k ahead in fact, they have gone down to an ace, but they took the middle turret, which is one of the main things. The middle base turret is down. Big stack up top, and Ash is saying thanks, I'll pick that up if you don't mind. Just going to go up there. Has got actually completed the Infinity Edge now, so a lot of damage there. Bloodthirster, Infinity Edge, and Last Whisper, and just really just
Phantom Dancer next.
Phantom Dancer's got to be completed now. He's actually put it off for quite a while now. 16k gold for Ashe, so top gold person by far on the map, and obviously Ezreal is, well, 2k behind in that stake, so well farmed Ashe is all I can say from that. Hawkshot does go across. They can see they are on the Baron, and immediately they're going to have to back away from that one.
ezreal.
Oh, he's going to get caught out, and ezreal does go down there. Yeah, very nicely done. The Ash Arrow is going to come in, mixed in with the Gangplank ulti. Surely going to go straight on towards Sona. Sona will go down, and then Deathfire grasp view straight away on towards Leigh Sin there. Hit points just plummet, and immediately you can see going to run round. Can he get the pulverize down? No, he just missed the combo. Oh, that's unfortunate. He just couldn't quite catch it, but it doesn't matter. And, and he will go down, and wow, Ash is just absolutely destroying here, because obviously with that combo, has the Boil Blood, has the Gangplank ulti, and that's just a very, very dead Riven. And this is almost certainly going to be GBT going into the finals. Very well played, and Clanless, you're going to have to look back at this game and think, what could we have done better? Really, we hesitated for so much when they were 14-8 up, 4k ahead, and they've just let it slip from their fingers.
Yeah, that was a game which Clanless are definitely going to be angry about losing. They were so nicely far ahead. I think it was like 21 minutes. They were 4k gold ahead. Well, that's how it goes sometimes. You make a wrong decision, or in this case, I guess no decision at all. That was the real problem, and it's GG. This was the semi-final, so of course only a best-of-1 matchup, which means we have our first team for the final. We possibly have our second team as well, if I just refresh the brackets here over on this other PC. But I'll drop you onto the post-game screen as well, so you guys at home can have a peek at that. I'll bring this up. So, Lithuania and New
Empire.
An Empire. Did I say that name?
Lithuanian, yeah, that's it.
An Empire, there apparently no result for that, as far as I can see. So I guess that game is still going on. And here is the bracket. Obviously not quite updated just yet up at the top, but it is exGBT who are going through into the grand final. It will be a best of 3, that grand final. So as soon as we find the result out of Lithuanian against Empire, then we are going to be moving into that one. But let's have a look at the post-game screen, because we do have a little bit of time here. 45-minute game. It was a long one. Probably shouldn't have gone that long, and probably shouldn't have gone the way that it did in the end. See there, Ash 8-2-10 with Last Whisper Zeal, which was there forever, not quite made up to the Phantom Dancer. I guess fancied, when you've got the buffs in there from Nunu, I'm not sure that Phantom Dancer was really the priority there. Wanted to go for that damage with Infinity Edge.
I'm not too sure how much with the Gangplank and the Blood Boil, whether she'd have already been hitting the cap, so maybe that's why she just went, well, I only really need the Zeal. I'm not too sure what the attack speed really gets from both of those combos, because I've never really had the privileged position to be an AD carry with them both doing it for me.
And then over on the other team, obviously not quite so amazing there. Leigh Sin 1-4-11, Riven 5-4-10, Ez 4-3-11. And that final kill there onto ezreal, that was the game, Deman. He got out of position, thought he could get a couple of shots off. Xerath got the stun in there, and he was just nuked down. And from that point on, you lose someone putting out the damage like that in the team, and you're just not going to be able to hold on to things. And in the end, GBT just proving that they could handle it under pressure. They managed to hold on when things were looking bad for them and then turn it into a victory. A sign of a quality team. Yeah,
and the versatility of the Ash Arrow, it can never be underestimated, that arrow, the crystalline arrow. Well, like you said, they caught ezreal, the rest of the team were like, okay, quick, back away. But bang, arrow straight in there, Gangplank ulti on top, Alistair pulverising on them. There was no escape, and it was just, it led from there. So didn't even need Baron at the end, in which they seemed to stall over for so long, Clanless. It's just, they should have just possibly just said, well, you know what, we've got the advantage, let's keep knocking the turrets down and force them even further back. Because, one of the things that we didn't really see was the buff control, which you see from the real top teams. As soon as they push that slightest advantage, they're in the jungle, they're invading them, they're making the other team question, we can't see where they are, where are they, let's have a look at the jungle, oh, everything's gone. And it's taken it away from them. Instead, we saw them constantly 3-4 people just gathered in the middle of the turret. It's almost like a solo queue game that you sometimes get. You're just like, well, what are we doing? We're not quite sure. They didn't have like we said, they just didn't have someone clearly calling the shots. Like we get, like a Reginald in there that's just saying, right, we're doing this now, and everybody else reacts. But that's, I guess, the big difference between the very top teams and the very good teams. You know, because these, let's not go out of way. This is a monthly final. These guys have won cup competitions to get points to get into this qualifier in the first place. So they are very good teams. But
yeah,
GBT were better on the day.
Yeah, that double Shirelia's reverie there as well, just because they can at the end to push it a little bit faster. But of course, coming up next, guys, will be the grand final. It's worth €500. It's going to be a best of 3, and of course, it will be the exGBT team going up against Lithuanian or Empire, depending on the result of that game. And as soon as we know the result, of course, we will be bringing you all the action from that one. So don't go anywhere. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/Joe_Miller and twitter.com/QVDemon. Don't forget to also check out Demon's YouTube channel at youtube.com/4Demon. And we'll be back for the final in just a few moments. Don't go anywhere.